is Tarik Talk. Your host, Tarik Mendez, takes you on a journey with guests from all around the world. Broadcasting around the world. Around the world. This is Tarik Talk.
All right, guys. Today we're here with Nicolas Sanchez on Art on Paper. How are you, Nicolas?
Good, how are you?
Awesome. Thank you so much for being on the podcast. I have to say your booth is impeccable and amazing.
Oh, my goodness. Thank you so much.
So much color. I see you do so many mediums of work. Can you describe first, can you describe a little bit about yourself as an artist?
Oh, sure. Let's see. Well, I've been in New York for 13 years.
Okay.
I'm originally from Michigan. My parents are from Mexico, so I'm Mexican-American. I'm first generation.
Nice.
And my dad taught me how to draw when I was little, so I've been drawing all my life.
Oh, wow.
I moved to New York in 2011 to pursue a master's degree in fine art, where I received it from the New York Academy of Art in Tribeca.
Congrats.
And I've been a full-time artist ever since. Thank you.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
And can you describe a little bit about the artwork you have in your booth?
Yeah, definitely. For me, my studio what's really important to me is having elasticity in my studio practice. So it's really important for me to explore different mediums and different approaches to different subject matter within things in my life. So I make work about my family history, my Mexican cultural background. And for me, navigating that identity that carries both of these cultures growing up was pretty difficult. It was something to navigate. That's difficult for someone young to understand, carrying multiple cultures. And so it's enough for me to explore in my work. There's a lot about it that I'm still learning, and I learn through my work. As far as subject matter in my work, you'll see a lot of a mix of Midwest Americana imagery. So you'll see rural structures and rural animals like cows and horses and goats and sheep. And you'll also see images of family. So you'll see my niece, my cousins, aunts, uncles, parents.
Oh, wow. That's so cool. I didn't know they were family.
Oh, yeah. That's all family. And then I also have been focusing on ballet folklorico, traditional Mexican ballet folklorico dancers. So I'm now exploring these brightly colorful dresses with all these bright ribbon, and it's a very stark contrast from the more toned down Midwest rural kind of landscapes. So it's really fun to kind of go back and forth.
I love that. And I have to say, Mexico is one of my favorite countries that I've been to. Amazing. And I see a lot in your work. It looks like a quinceañera painting. Right. I love that. Do you think it has impacted a lot of your work, maybe subconsciously or consciously?
Oh, definitely. It's very intentional. For me, it's important to explore the idea of being a Mexican American in my work. Mexican American, or even first gen American from any country, I think go through similar struggles in identifying where we land in such a mixing pot of a country. And so for me, it's important to understand how I carry Mexican culture, which is from the country that I was not born in, but it is my culture. Yeah. And so, but I also carry American culture. I'm very much American as well. And I'm proud of being able to represent both cultures as an American when I travel overseas, and when I go to Mexico, I'm proud to be American, and I love sharing that with my family in Mexico.
And are you, when you mentioned the family paintings and drawings, are you working from memory or are you working from photographs when you did those? Yeah,
definitely. I work with different types of references. So basically, everything that I make comes from a first-hand experience. Oh, okay. So everything you'll see, I had to see and experience in person at some point. So you'll see the watercolors feature my nephews in LA who are swimming in their neighbor's pool, and so I just thought it was beautiful. So I took photos of them and did some watercolor studies of them while they were splashing around in the pool. And then later in the studio, I'll reference the photos. But when I have the photos, I can also remember what it was like in person. So sometimes you can't trust photo references. Sometimes our cameras edit out certain nuanced lighting or nuanced color, or they also sometimes make everything very clear. But our eyes, we don't see everything very clear.
Yeah.
We only see clearly with things that we focus on,
Yeah.
and everything else is peripheral. So you have to have these firsthand experiences so you can apply your memory
Yeah.
to the photo reference,
Yeah.
so that you can correct the photo because you were there.
Yeah.
You know what it was like in
Totally
person.
get what you mean.
Yeah.
And what's your creative process like? Like, where do ideas come to you?
Well, because I work in multiple mediums, right now I'm adding watercolor to my studio practice. I'm just so curious about it. It's such a different experience working in watercolor than charcoal, oil paint,
Yeah.
or ballpoint pen. So for me, my studio practice is about finding subject matter. Well, you know, I feel in my exploration of being Mexican American, I feel there's so much different subject matter. So for me, my relationship to every subject matter, whether it be a sheep on a hill, or my aunt sitting at a table, or ducks kind of going single filing back
Yeah.
into a barn, or witnessing a quinceañera event, my relationship to that subject matter is different. So if my feelings are different towards that subject matter, then my approach should probably echo that or mirror that. So for me, it's important to learn multiple languages. You know, if you're a traveler, for example, and you like to travel internationally,
Yeah.
if you do that regularly enough, you'll want to learn different languages to be
Yeah.
able to communicate with people from around the world.
Absolutely.
That's
yeah.
the same thing that I think about in the studio. If I want to express exactly how I feel about a painting of my niece, or a drawing of a dancer wearing a folklorico dress, then I have to be able to speak the language that best represents that image in my mind, and it also reflects how I feel about it, or my relationship to that. So I wouldn't paint or draw a goat the same way I would draw or paint my niece, for example.
Yeah.
So, you know, my relationship with each subject matter is different. So
Yeah.
I want to make sure I learn different techniques, approaches to making work, so
Yeah.
that I can, anytime I feel something or think of something, I'm able to express it exactly how it should.
Perfect. And how are you painting all of these? Are you like writing your ideas down and your inspiration, or is it all organic?
Well, I maintain a steady studio. I maintain a steady sketchbook practice.
Oh, okay.
So I have a lot of
References,
sketchbooks
yeah.
full of little
Oh,
sketches
nice.
and ideas and kind of quick thoughts.
Yeah.
And later they can turn into here I have an 8
Yeah.
by 12 foot painting of
Yes,
a
and it's
dancer.
amazing. It's so perfect. It
That
looks
came
like a
from my
photograph.
sketchbook.
It's amazing.
Thank you.
I see everybody walk by and they do a double take. They're
Yeah,
like, "Wait a minute!
yeah.
I see. Is that brush strokes? Is that a real? Is that a real picture?" And are you an artist when you show up to the studio? Are you able to get to work right away? Do you have like some kind of ritual? Like, do you have to get a coffee, un cafecito? Do you need to meditate? Like newspaper? What is it like for you?
Oh, always coffee.
Always coffee.
Always coffee. No, I don't think so. I think if I ever have a kind of a process, or if anything becomes too routine, it's very important to break it up. It's very important to be aware enough when that happens so that I can break it up.
Yeah.
I don't ever want to be stuck in a certain mindset every single time. You know, although some of my work have similar finishes or end results, they all start from different places.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And are you always like looking for inspiration? Are you able to turn off your artistic brain for a little bit and be in the moment, or you manage to do both? Like you're always getting inspired by things around you?
Yeah, I think making work is how I breathe. It is how I exist. It is how I learn about the world around me. And so it's not about turning it on or off. It's not about switching between human or like person and artist.
Yeah.
It's all in the same. It's all one. So I hope that I can present myself as a human in my artwork. And as a human out in the world, I hope I'm not too much of a weirdo artist.
No, you're pretty dope. You're pretty cool. Well, thank you so much, Nicholas. We are at booth H07, so please, everybody, check him out. It was a pleasure talking to you today and hearing a little bit about you. Thank you so much for participating. And can you share your Instagram with us?
Yeah, thank you so much. Yes, my Instagram is at Nicolas V. Sanchez, NicolasVSanchez.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Until next time we see each other, okay?
Yeah,
bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to Tarik Talk. Follow Tarik Talk on all social media channels and check out the video interviews online.